Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I thought I'd start off this YouTube series with a topic that's pretty important to me. I'm going to talk about meditation, what it is and what it's not, and why I do it, and why I think everybody should do it. So if you're interested, keep watching. So what is meditation? So meditation to me is about, I suppose it's different things to different people and everybody uses it differently and practices it differently. What it is to me is the coming out of the craziness of your mind, calming it down and coming back into your stillness, or that place that I call my inner knowing. It's coming out of that monkey mind, settling it all down and bringing your attention into one focused thing. And that thing could be anything from your breath to the sound of a drum, to painting and gardening, to a mantra that you're singing. It could be anything. It could be so many things, but it's just bringing your attention out of all the thoughts flying around in your brain and into one focused path. Meditation is often called a practice, and that's because you have to keep practicing it. There are days when you're going to be happy and you're going to be calm and you're going to feel peaceful, and sitting down to meditate isn't hard at all, it's blissful. It's easy. And then there are days when the shit hits the fan and life gets really tough, and sitting down to do that is harder because it means actually looking at what's going on in your life. And meditation's a choice. It's a choice to be present in whatever is going on for you and to look at it with honest and open eyes. And sometimes that's easy and sometimes that's hard, but the key is that you just keep practicing it. And that's the important part. Okay, so a question I get asked a lot is meditation a religion, or is it against my religion? And the simple answer is no. While meditation has been practiced for millennia and is associated with many spiritual traditions, it is not purely aligned with one. There is evidence of meditation dating back to tribal cultures who use meditation in forms of ritual dance. There is evidence of meditation existing in Christianity, Islam, Judaism, Buddhism, Taoism. The list goes on and on. And any time where you're sitting in contemplative prayer, or you're using silence as a way to commune with your creator, then just about every religion in the world uses meditation. But it's not purely associated with one. Meditation can be practiced without any spiritual context or any belief in, a divine spiritual being. It can just be merely practiced as a way to calm your mind, communicate with your higher self, release your own creativity, and promote a sense of your own well-being, without any connection to any form of religious connotation. Okay, so why do I meditate? Simply put, I meditate because I must. Without meditation, I probably wouldn't be here. And I know that sounds a little dramatic, but meditation found me. I didn't find it. Meditation found me at a time in my life when I was experiencing a profound and deep depression, and I honestly didn't want to be here anymore. And I felt like my life had spiraled out of control. I felt like I was on that rat wheel where you just have to keep running without any purpose, just to keep paying the bills, and without feeling passionately connected to what I was doing. I started to go numb. I was just numb inside. I couldn't feel, and I didn't want to feel. And I'd had a hard childhood and difficult points throughout that childhood and my early teenage years that I tried hard to kind of push aside, but like all things, they come back to bite you in the ass, and I didn't want to heal them because I didn't want to feel them again. And I was running from myself. I was running from the silence in my mind. I'm a writer, and the only thing I could write were stories about finding relief in death. I could only write about losing a sense of connection, because it's all I felt. And I think it was a point where my partner was very worried about me, and I didn't know how to see the way out. I was completely disconnected, and every day I'd get on the train and I'd see the train coming in at the station. I would think it would be easy to just end it. That would be easier than putting up with it. And I know that for some people that's a really sick thought, but unless you've been there within yourself, you can't imagine what that feels like. That it all being over seems easier than having to experience it again in your mind, and it's harrowing. And so to anybody out there who's feeling that way, get some help. And I know, counselling isn't always the way, or psychology isn't always the way. Sometimes getting into your own head is worse, but get the right help for you. Call a call centre, learn to meditate. Speak to someone that matters to you, that you feel like you can be open with, but reach out. Don't stay inside that head of yours, please. Trust me, the world gets better. You just have to allow yourself to heal and give yourself the space to not have to tick the boxes everybody else is ticking. Getting married, having kids, buying a house, going to work, keep running. Just let yourself stop. Allow yourself some space to heal, but get some help. So I was working in a job. Okay, let's get the story right. I was working in a job that I really didn't like, and I jumped off the ship before it sank and landed in another job that wasn't the right fit. And when you just know that it's not where you're supposed to be. The going to work feels like drudgery, and the work itself doesn't ignite your passion, and you're just kind of going through the motions, and then things start to go wrong and it starts to feel like you're pushing shit uphill. I started to get sick. I got whooping cough. I started a new job and had to have 21 days off straight up in like the first month I'd been there. I developed every form of childhood illness that came through that childcare centre. In the 6 months I was working there, I'd spent more time off sick than I'd spent there. I felt like every day I'd get on the bus and then the train, and the trains would be late and the bus would be late, or I'd forget my wallet, or everything just kind of started to unravel. And I felt like I was I knew I was in the wrong place. But I'd get on that train at Bondi Junction, and almost every day there was a pamphlet on the chair or on the floor or on the edge of the coffee shop about the Buddhist tradition and meditation. I'd look at it and think, wonder what that's about. Some people can find calm, good for them. And I didn't listen. And every day I was crying out in pain for things to get better. And I wasn't paying attention to the signs that were right there in front of me. But to cut a long story short, I went from that job back to an old job where I'd been much happier, and I thought that would fix the problem, but it didn't. And I encountered someone there who had a conversation with me that changed my life. She spoke to me openly about energy and about healing and about her children feeling connected to nature and the fairies. And she spoke to me about knowing that I had a psychic ability, even if I pretended I didn't, and that I needed to listen to it. And she gave me the name of where she'd studied, and the thought never left. I went to work every day and walked into that room and saw that parent wander through and drop off a child and thought, she's either nuts or I am. So I Googled it. I Googled the college and I found a place that I started to call Hogwarts. It became my magic. I went and studied energy healing. And in my first class, we meditated. We sat down and we started breathing, just breathing. We just sat in silence as a group and took deep breaths in and deep breaths out. And at the end of that class, I just sat and cried because I hadn't felt that calm in years. I mean, maybe my entire life. I just hadn't felt that sense of peace, and I'd felt embraced in the space I was in, and I never ever looked back. It just changed everything for me. So I went on from doing energy healing to focusing on meditation, and I'm now a qualified meditation facilitator. And I honestly believe if I hadn't have learned to meditate, and through meditation learned to find myself, get in touch with my inner knowing, heal my past, confront my demons, and learn that the power to find peace is a choice I make every day, I wouldn't be here. So I, will wave that flag for meditation as high as I can, because it saved my life in complete and total honesty. And I hope someone watching this who's at the end of their tether and is thinking, fuck, what do I do now? Just jump on YouTube, search up breathing meditation, find one that lasts like 2 minutes, and just start there. Just do that every day for a week and see yourself change. And the moment you start listening, just taking a minute to listen to the universe, the moment doors will open for you and other things will come into your path that are aligned with your learning and that are aligned with what it is you need to unfold and unravel in order for you to heal. They will come to you if you sit and you allow it. And I know that sounds really simple, and I know it's really not, but just start, because every day that you choose to practice meditation is a day where you're choosing not to allow the depression and the anxiety to win. You're allowing yourself to be in control, and that is empowering, but you're also allowing. You're allowing yourself to choose to be in a space of calm, but you're allowing the universe to bring it to you. And it's a fine line and a balance, because people who are anxious have to control everything. It's how, we control fear. So if you know the outcomes, you don't have to be afraid. And letting go is really, really hard. But it starts just once a day for a couple of minutes. So promise me you'll get out there and give it a go. And there's no right or wrong. Some days it's easy and some days it's crap. But every day that you try is a win. So just be gentle with yourself. If you're struggling, get help, but just start. The other thing I wanted to say is that meditation doesn't have to be this strict doctrine or this strict practice. It doesn't have to be that you go to an ashram and you sit in silence, or you go to a silent retreat and you take it all in. It doesn't have to mean that you sit down at 9 o'clock every day and you do it. While that's helpful and useful, and some people work well with the rigidity and structure, sometimes you need to be a little more free-flowing with yourself and allow it to just develop as it needs to. So today it might be sitting down and breathing. Tomorrow it could be just going for a walk somewhere natural, just getting out in nature. The day after it might be digging in the garden and, just focusing your attention in on what your hands are doing, your hands in the soil, the sun on your skin, whatever it has to be. But it's just an awareness to be present for a few minutes every day and to get out of that wandering craziness of your mind. It doesn't have to be something that you lock yourself into and you must do, and if you don't do, you fail. There are some great apps online that give you varied practices to do over an amount of days, things like Headspace. I think there are other ones like Omvana. there are many if you start Googling and, you know, looking on the App Store and that sort of thing. And there are a million meditations on YouTube. But it doesn't have to be something that you know, sit down and listen to. It can merely be just, you know, sitting in the bath, sticking your head under the water so everything goes quiet and just listening to yourself for a couple of minutes. It could be anything, but it's about present awareness and allowing yourself the space to get out of that chatter in your brain. But anyway, I'm gonna go, and it was great talking to you all. And if you are interested or you want to give me an idea for my next video, just pop it in the comment section, like and subscribe to this video, and I'll see you soon. Bye.